I need to discuss something, man. Like I said, the trade deadline. I need to discuss my man Q. Dot Grimes. Once a Nick, always a Nick. I will be monitoring this man out there in the Motor City. Um, Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. Detroit, y'all got something. I don't know what's gonna happen in Detroit, but I think y'all got something. He's a definitely upgrade, and you've seen the maneuver. It was so crazy because when I heard of the move of Q. Dot Grimes headed to Detroit, I said to myself, "Whoa, what does this mean?" I know Ivy. Ivy, he good, but something. I was thinking about Killian Hayes, and I said, "Man, this move just made this man yesterday's news." And I didn't know that it was gonna move so swiftly. But the next time I looked up my phone, it said that this man got waived, Killian Hayes. Now if you talk about Killian Hayes, you're gonna get mixed reviews from who you speak about. Quentin Grimes has been pretty disgruntled in New York. He's dealing with Brunson, DiVincenzo, all these guys where he just got lost in the shuffle. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he does. And like I said, where does Killian Hayes go from here? A lot of people view him as a bust. This man plays for Detroit at the end of the day. He's averaging 6 points, shooting 41% from the field, 29% from three. That's just horrendous in today's NBA. We got to break this down, man, because Killian Hayes is out the door. Let's figure out will he ever get a job, and we're gonna get into what this move means for Detroit. It's Flight Sports. I got my man Chief in the building. This would have been a heavy trade deadline situation. Obviously, our Hornets they waived some people. We discussed that, but Book Night wasn't the only one waived today. Killian Hayes was, I believe, one of the first people on the board. What's your thoughts on Quentin Grimes headed to Detroit, and them cutting ties with Killian Hayes pretty much seconds after? What went on today?
Killian was, I mean, they tried. Well, there was so many rumors around Killian Hayes. Number one, uh, there was talk about that Grimes was going to several teams. So for Detroit to land him, um, I think it's an upgrade tremendously. Now there's competition to be who'll be next to Cade. With Arcia, they can take their time more with Arcia because they got him kind of slated at the three, which yeah, they got him kind of slated as a three. So we'll see. They can now make room. If they feel like Arcia needs some more developing, but um, they are taking their time in building everything step by step, and I expect Detroit to, as the other young teams are beginning to show more promise, I believe Detroit eventually will rise in the ranks of the East. They got too much talent not to. It's just about putting it together, and everything. Then they wave Killian Hayes immediately. It's like Killian wanted to leave. Monte wanted to cling to him. I guess tried to mold and shape it into whatever he wanted him to. Ivy's been chomping at the bit to start. Now he gets that chance, hopefully. You know, but Grimes is Monte's kind of player, man. Ivy may think he about topping that starting lineup, and he may still be on the bench.
Yes, like I said, this kid is coming. What I say from Detroit is I got to give him credit because they got a guy from a winning situation. You understand? He's leaving the Knicks where they were fighting for Eastern Conference supremacy. It's tough. I'm saying this about the Knicks for crying out loud. They were literally fighting for supremacy. A team that people look at could reach the conference finals. You know, and now Detroit is getting that, and they need it. They need more winners. Around Cade Cunningham, because they got eventually Cade gonna end up asking out or whatever. They're gonna run him to the ground, devalue him. Something's got to give in Detroit, and I think this pickup is gonna be suited well. Also, Grimes plays defense, and he's gonna fit right in with the Motor City. Now it's all about the other people that's on this roster as well. Detroit to me got a long ways to go. I thought they was gonna do something this year. I like Jalen Duran. He got hurt and things got up and down. But before you know it, they was on the serious losing streak. And a lot of teams could thank them, but you can only go up from here. And moves like Grimes, they let go of Burks, Bertans. They don't fit the timeline here. You know, these guys need to move on to another situation, competing for the playoffs, competing for a championship. They shouldn't be wasting away in Detroit with these young guys. And it's clearly a few years away from being where it need to be. So I do like the moves that was made today. I understand those guys gonna fit well in New York. Burks, Bogdanovich, those are veterans. You understand? They need guys that fit the timeline here with Cade Cunningham. And like I said, as I'm looking at Killian Hayes, man, he's another guy that I'm not gonna feel. He's 22 years of age. He knew that he could possibly be on his way out the door. This man has played in 4 seasons and he averaged 10 points last year. So last year was one of his better seasons, but that 3-point percentage when you shooting in the 20s, you can't be a point guard in the NBA today and have a horrendous 3-point shot. So it's tough, man. With Detroit, how many years away do you see Detroit? They went and got the coach Monty. They paid him all this money. How soon is he going to be able to coach a playoff game, or before he might get fired?
Hey, I'm about to say, if they are patient, right now, Detroit is not one of these other markets, man. Detroit has won championships. Markets like that, they hold coaches. They coaches are held on a very short leash in some of these markets, man. So the pressure is on. They have the talent. I think they will make strides next year with everyone healthy. Healthy, they may. I think that they could make a push next year if everyone is healthy because they got good players. Detroit, they have their players are just as good as Houston, Houston, Orlando, OKC. They got a nice young cornerstone, and everything. So I see, like I said, I don't see them being where they are too much longer. They will get another high draft pick this year, telling what they may pick that'll add to that core. And I think they just have to sort out who will go with Cade, if Cade is really the guy. In my opinion, Flight it have to flow through Durant and not Cade, but that's just my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm high on him too. That dude is
Yeah,
an animal.
yeah, I think it'll flow through Durant. But you all in New York are talking Eastern Conference supremacy. Okay.
Well, listen, if you got conference finals aspirations, you fighting for supremacy. You're a contender. You get to the conference finals, man. You're a contender.
We're gonna
So
revisit.
let's hope the Knicks can get there.
We're gonna revisit this one, Flight.
I hope so. The Knicks.
Absolutely.
One thing I give the Knicks is they haven't skipped any steps.
Okay.
So let's see what happens, man. But they are clearing the pardon me. They are clearing the way for this situation for basically Quentin Grimes had to go, quickly left. They are clearing the way for this Villanova connection for basically Brunson to take the reins and bring your guys with you. Here you go. We'll get these guys up out of here. We've been developing them for years. They'll never become all-stars, superstars. They great players, good players, but they're never going to be that guy like Brunson. Brunson wasn't born an all-star. He worked his behind off to get there. But I'm going to
Absolutely.
leave it at that. It's flight sports.